Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to Barira's Fate Journal. There was once a house, beautiful, spacious, with a marble courtyard and water running through it, and no one would buy it. Its owner had passed away with no children, no immediate heirs. His relatives inherited a small fortune's worth of property and a problem. Because word had spread, news traveling for days and nights through the market, this house had shayateen in it. People refused to go near it. Buyers after buyer walked away until finally one man, strong, unafraid, and in need of the money, decided he didn't believe the stories. He told the relatives he would buy it. Because of the rumors, they let him have it for a quarter of the price. That evening, he moved in. He rested a while. He fell asleep, and then something started pulling at his quilt. He grabbed it back, asked out loud, "Who's there?" A reply came, "I'm an Ifrit." The man wasn't scared of. He wrestled it to the ground, sat on its back, took hold of the gun he had brought, and lit the candle that had gone out. "Speak," he said. "Are you a jinn or a man?" And the answer wasn't what anyone expected. "I am neither an Ifrit nor a jinn," it said. "I am a poor man. Someone paid me to come here every night, to scream, to make noises, to frighten anyone who moved in. I was told this was the only way I would find work." There was no jinn in that house. There never had been. There was only a man paid by someone who wanted that beautiful house at a low price, and a story everyone believed because it was frightening and because no one questioned it. That's what this episode is really about. Not just fortune tellers with cards or crystal balls, but anyone anywhere who claims to know what only Allah knows. That claim, whether it comes from a house rumor, a market stall, or someone reading a palm, has a real cost. Islam is very clear about what that cost is. A fortune teller, simply put, is someone who claims to know news of the future, things hidden from everyone but Allah. Rasulullah was direct about approaching them. He said whoever goes to a fortune teller and asks about something, their prayer will not be accepted for 40 days. And he went further. He said whoever goes to a fortune teller and believes what they say has disbelieved in what was revealed to Muhammad. That's not a small warning. That's a hard line between trusting Allah with the unseen and handing that trust to a stranger instead. One fortune teller was once asked plainly what made him start doing this. He said, "I used to drive a taxi, then I realized this was an easier way to take people's money." That's usually the whole secret behind the mystery. We see this pattern again and again. A young man once insisted on visiting a famous fortune teller. So his companion, who had tried to warn him, went along and decided to test him instead. They made up a story together, something entirely false, and asked the fortune teller about it. He confirmed it, confidently, in detail, as if it were true. It wasn't. There was nothing to confirm. He simply performed certainty, and the young man, seeing through it, left and turned back to Allah instead. Another man struggling in his marriage was told by a fortune teller that his problems had lasted 7 years, caused by magic. He returned the next day and mentioned, almost in passing, that he had only been married for 2 years. The math never has to work. The performance just has to be convincing enough that we don't check it. There are ways to recognize this before it takes hold of us. If someone asks for our mother's name or father's name before telling us anything about ourselves, that's not insight, that's a technique. And if someone asks to hold or see something personal of ours, a scarf, an item of clothing, before making their claims, we walk away the way we would walk away from real danger. These aren't gifts, they are methods. We started this episode with someone pretending to have power over what's hidden from us. Let's end it with someone who actually held on to the one who truly does. A man lay unconscious in a hospital bed for months. Machines tracked every heartbeat. Doctors examined him time and again, and every time they shook their heads. There was nothing more they could do. His wife and their young son came twice a day without fail. They adjusted his blankets. They asked the nurse gently if there was any change. There never was. One doctor finally asked the wife why she kept coming. He isn't recovering at all. She didn't have an answer built on medicine. She had one built on prayer. She and her son had begun giving charity in their neighborhood, asking the poor and needy to pray for him too. She told the doctor simply that she believed one day she would find her husband waiting for her, fully himself again. And one day she did. He was awake. He was healed. The doctor standing in that room said something remarkable. He told her plainly that this recovery wasn't something medicine could take credit for. There are limits to what doctors can do. Then he asked her, "By Allah, what were you doing this whole time?" Charity, patience, prayer. That was the answer. The doctors had already read the signs and given their verdict, but their verdict was never the final word. It never is. Allah, you are the only one who knows what's hidden from us. Protect us from chasing false certainty in place of you. Let our hearts turn only to you when we are afraid, or desperate, or unsure, and grant us the patience to wait for your answer even when it doesn't come the way we expect. Ameen Ya Rabbul Alameen. Follow for more forgotten Islamic stories. All informations are derived from Darussalam publications. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.